Just look at her dress. It's literally the New York skyline. Her body isn't touching Breanna Stewart. Her arm isn't touching Breanna Stewart. There was clearly zero contact here. The Liberty shot 25 free throws and the Lynx shot only 8.
You ever watch a game and think, no way that just happened? Well, that's exactly what went down in the WNBA Finals. 1 minute, everyone's celebrating the most watched finals in 20 years. The next, Rachel DeMita drops a bombshell that has the whole league shook. Picture this, the WNBA's biggest game ever. Millions of eyes glued to screens, hearts pounding with every play. It's the finals, folks, the moment every player dreams of. But then, out of nowhere, Rachel DeMita drops a truth bomb that has everyone's jaws on the floor. Let's break down those final seconds of regulation. Breanna Stewart's got the ball, the clock's ticking down. Everyone's thinking, this is it. But hold up, something's not right here. You've got to see this slow-mo replay. It's like watching a magic trick, but the only thing disappearing is the rule book. Count the steps with me. 1, 2, 3, wait a second. Is that 4, 5, without a single dribble? You're not seeing things. That's a travel so obvious even your grandma could call it from the nosebleeds. But here's the kicker, no whistle.
And gets sent to the free throw line. She makes both free throws and sends this game into overtime of regulation where Breanna Stewart is allegedly fouled. So this was called a foul and then it was reviewed and then it was essentially confirmed a foul and she was sent to the free throw line.
The refs are as quiet as a library at midnight. You'd think they left their whistles at home. But trust me, that's not even the craziest part of this whole mess. Now let's talk about Elena Smith's so-called foul. Freeze the frame right there. You see any contact? Neither do I. It's like Smith's defending a ghost out there. Zero contact, nada, zilch. Yet somehow, the whistle finally decides to work. So what's the ref's explanation for this phantom foul? Get this. They say Smith wasn't in legal guarding position.
So as you can see in this photo here, which is right before Stewie goes up with the ball, Elena Smith is not touching her at all. Her body isn't touching Breanna Stewart. Her arm isn't touching Breanna Stewart. There was clearly zero contact here. That isn't called often, not in legal guarding position. And
Say what now? Last time I checked, that's basketball 101. Both feet on the floor facing your opponent. Simple, right? Apparently not in this game. You know it's bad when even the pros are scratching their heads. Former refs and analysts are saying calls like this are rarer than a solar eclipse, especially in a high-stakes game like the finals. It's like the rulebook got rewritten mid-game and nobody got the memo. And get this, Damian Lillard, yeah, the NBA superstar, he's not buying it either. He's out here suggesting the refs knew their assignment in the second half. You hearing this? It's like saying the fix was in.
Damian Lillard said, the refs called this game like they knew the assignment in the second half. Boy, great game. And then Isaiah Thomas tweeted, they low-key cheated for New York. Like if this were on the NBA side, that referee would have been fired before the game even ended.
But with fancier words. But here's the thing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You know what's even wilder? The numbers. Oh boy, the numbers don't lie. And they're telling a story so crazy you might not believe it. But that's a whole other can of worms we're about to open. Trust me, this rabbit hole goes deep. We're talking about a controversy that's got everyone from the commissioner to the popcorn guy sweating bullets. And the best part? We're just getting started. Buckle up, because this ride's about to get bumpy. All right, you might be thinking, sure, a few bad calls, but that happens, right? Wrong. We're about to hit you with some numbers that'll make your jaw drop harder than a Brittany Griner dunk. Ever seen a free throw gap wider than the Grand Canyon? You're about to. Let's talk free throws. You won't believe the difference between these teams. The New York Liberty, they strolled up to the charity stripe a whopping 25 times. And the Minnesota Lynx, they barely got a chance to warm up with just 8 attempts. That's not just a gap, folks. It's a chasm so wide you could fit the entire WNBA in it. Now, I'm not just throwing numbers at you. This is the kind of disparity that makes statisticians do a double take. The Liberty sank 21 of those 25 free throws. Meanwhile, the Lynx made 7 out of their measly 8 attempts. It's like watching 2 different games played side by side. But wait, it gets better. Or worse, depending on which team you're rooting for. Let's talk about Napheesa Collier for a second. This Lynx star was out there getting absolutely mauled under the basket. We're talking contact, so obvious you could see it from space. And the whistle? Crickets. It's like the refs suddenly went on a silent retreat, flipped to the other end of the court, and it's a whole different ball game. A Liberty player sneezes? Foul. They blink too aggressively? Foul. It's like the refs turned into whistle-happy traffic cops, but only for one team. The inconsistency was so blatant, even casual fans were scratching their heads. You know it's bad when NBA superstars can't keep quiet. LeBron James, the king himself, took to Twitter to voice his disbelief. His tweet? "I'm sorry, but that wasn't a foul." Short, sweet, and straight to the point.
LeBron James tweeted, he said, "I'm sorry, but that wasn't a foul. Let the damn players dictate the outcome of a close battle." Nobody wants, not even fans want to see a game ended because of a call that the referees made.
When LeBron's calling out the refs in a different league, you know something's fishy. This isn't just fans and players being sore losers. We're talking about a pattern so obvious, it's like a neon sign flashing, "Something's not right here." The officiating felt so one-sided that accusations of a rigged game started flying faster than a fast break. And here's the kicker. This isn't even a one-time thing. Digging into the history books, turns out free throw disparities have been a recurring theme in WNBA Finals. But this game, it took things to a whole new level. It's like they looked at past controversies and said, "Hold my whistle."
The Liberty shot 25 free throws and the Lynx shot only 8. It's also very clear that Nafisa Collier just wasn't getting calls the entire game.
Just when you think it can't get any crazier, we haven't even touched on the wildest part yet. The commissioner's outfit? Oh boy, you're not ready for this fashion faux pas that's got everyone talking. But that's a whole other can of worms we're about to open. You know how they say a picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, Commissioner Engelbert's dress at the WNBA Finals just wrote a whole novel. And let me tell you, it's a bestseller that's got former players and fans alike flipping out. Why? Because sometimes what you wear says more than what you say. And this outfit is screaming controversy. Imagine this. It's championship night, the biggest event in women's basketball. The commissioner steps out to present the trophy and, wait, is that the New York skyline on her dress? We're not talking about some subtle pattern here. We're talking full-on Empire State Building, Freedom Tower, the whole shebang. It's like she's wearing a postcard from the Big Apple. As soon as people caught sight of Kathy Engelbert's dress, social media exploded. Fans were losing their minds, questioning everything from the commissioner's judgment to the league's integrity. It's like someone lit a match in a room full of fireworks. Boom! Instant controversy. But here's where it gets really wild. Those photos of the commissioner's outfit? They started vanishing faster than you can say fashion police.
The commissioner's outfit that she wore for the trophy presentation. To literally wear the New York skyline on her dress at Game 5, that is not a great look. Just look at her dress. It's literally the New York skyline.
It's like the WNBA was playing whack-a-mole with the internet. But you know how it goes. Once something's online, it's there forever. We've got the receipts, folks, and they're more damning than a referee's blown call. Now, you might think it's just a dress, right? Wrong. Former WNBA players are absolutely losing it. They're not just questioning the fashion choice, they're questioning the entire league's IQ. One ex-player went full savage mode, saying, "I would like to test the IQ of everyone in management at the WNBA and see if any of them are qualified to run any major business. I'm sure none of them can run a McDonald's drive-thru." Ouch. That's hotter than a freshly served Big Mac. But here's the real kicker. These former players were the first to catch on to what this fashion faux pas really meant. They pointed out something that should be obvious. A commissioner should never, ever make such a blatant statement during a neutral game, especially not one involving the team literally represented on her dress. It's like if an NFL commissioner showed up to the Super Bowl wearing a Chiefs jersey. You just don't do it. It screams bias louder than a courtside heckler with a megaphone. This isn't just about a bad wardrobe choice. It's thrown gasoline on an already raging fire of controversy. We're talking questions about the WNBA's credibility, leadership, and the whole integrity of the game. And all because of a dress. A dress. But hold on to your seats, folks. Because if you think this is explosive, you ain't seen nothing yet. The Minnesota coach is about to step up to the mic, and let me tell you, she's not there to talk about fashion. She's about to drop a truth bomb that'll make Engelbert's dress drama look like a minor wardrobe malfunction. Get ready, because this is where things really heat up. Ever seen a volcano erupt in a press conference? Because that's exactly what's about to go down. Cheryl Reeve, the usually cool-as-ice Minnesota Lynx coach, is at the podium. And let me tell you, she's not here to give the usual good game speech. What she's about to say, it'll make you question everything you thought you knew about the WNBA. The room goes dead silent as Reeve steps up to the mic. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone's holding their breath, wondering what she's gonna say, and boy, does she deliver. "This was stolen from us," she says, her voice shaking with emotion. Jaws hit the floor.
All the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on. Because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on. Well, we talked about it, you know? We know we could have done some things, right? But you shouldn't have to overcome to that extent. This shit ain't that hard. Officiating it's not that hard.
Reporters' pens freeze midair. Did she just say what we think she said? Oh yeah, she did. And she's just getting started. Reeve's not just mad about one bad call or a single moment. She's taking aim at the entire system. Her words are like daggers, sharp and precise, cutting through the usual post-game platitudes. She's calling for a complete overhaul of the WNBA's challenge rules. "We have got to change our challenge rules, and the official doing the game should have a third party," she demands. It's not a suggestion, it's a battle cry. The frustration in her voice is palpable.
When someone is being held, be consistent. If you don't want to hold it one, then don't hold it the other. Be consistent. Every team asks for that, right? So I tell these guys, for whatever reason it didn't work out, right? It just doesn't feel right.
You can almost feel the heat radiating off her words. If you don't want to call it one way, then don't call it the other. Be consistent, every team asks for that right, she says, her eyes blazing. It's like she's channeling the anger of every player, every fan who's ever felt cheated by a bad call. But here's the kicker. Reeve knows exactly what she's risking. The WNBA has a history of slapping fines on coaches who criticize officials. Remember Dan Hughes back in 2019? Yeah, his wallet got a bit lighter after speaking out. But Reeve? She doesn't seem to care. It's like she's saying, "Fine me, I dare you." This isn't just about one game anymore. Reeve's words echo through the room. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about the future of the WNBA. And just like that, a post-game press conference turns into a defining moment for women's basketball. You can see it in her eyes. She knows she might be risking her job, her reputation, everything she's worked for. But in this moment, none of that matters. Because sometimes, you've got to risk it all to change the game. And that's exactly what Cheryl Reeve is doing. As she steps away from the mic, the room erupts. Reporters are scrambling, phones are buzzing, and you just know this is going to be everywhere in minutes. One thing's for sure, the WNBA will never be the same after this. Reeve didn't just speak her mind, she lit a fire that's going to burn for a long, long time.